Hi everyone, you're back again with Loves Beauty and Straight Loves Nutrition. Today we're going to be talking about this little bad boy here and what it does. So years in the industry, for those of you guys that don't know me, I do lots of treatments in beauty and aesthetic sector. I mainly focus on things like fat freezing, cavitation, body sculpting and microneedling. So as well as the nutrition training and supplements that we actually do. I work quite closely with clients looking at ways to actually improve and contour their body and improve their health. So a lot of treatments I actually do at Loves Beauty are very bespoke to clients' needs and wants. So rewind to November 2020. I actually saw a little advert in an aesthetics forum about a product that dissolves fat. So I actually did fat dissolving injections for a couple of years, as well as alongside fat freezing. You know what it's like in the industry, everything moves and new trends come into play and new products actually come out. So for myself, I wasn't actually a massive fan of fat dissolving injections. They work amazingly on some people, but not so good on others. So that is my own personal preference and opinion on that. And I kind of almost felt uncomfortable charging clients quite a lot of money when they needed 2 or 3 rounds, if they were getting side effects such as swelling or waiting for the treatment to really kick in. And obviously down to the actual products as well, they work for amazing for some people and not so much for others. The big factor I was finding is obviously people kind of go for treatments and they just think, right, okay, I've got a certain amount of fat that I actually want to get rid of. Here's some money. Can you actually do it? It's not quite that straightforward, and I'm very vocal in that with clients that I like to look at your fat first. So a lot of my clients have a consultation first on Facebook, WhatsApp, over the phone, over Skype, whatever it may be, to assess and address what their expectations are and can I meet it. So for me, with fat dissolving, it was very much that I were getting bigger people coming thinking that they could have one session of fat dissolving, and because it costs a couple of £100, it's actually going to do the job. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Everybody's fat is very different, and everybody's circumference of fat is different. So led me to seeing this kind of little forum, seeing a post about a biomedical scientist that had actually dissolved this dissolving product out there and had actually brought it to market, and lots of clinical evidence behind it. So spoke to the developer of the product and was like, you know what, I need some evidence. I need to trial it on my clients first. As you could appreciate, I see loads and loads of posts on different products, and sometimes they claim to be amazing, yet they're only like water loss, or they don't do the job that they say they're going to do. And partly is that because of people's fat and people's expectations. So I tried the product. It was developed and it had about 3,000 case studies done on it prior to the launch, and it has FDA approval. It also has another product in the range, which is a thermogenesis product, which is more of a harder fat. And I liked the science behind it and the answers I was getting given, because I'm a bit of I ask loads of questions when things come out. I'm quite, well, how does this work? What does it do that? What evidence have you got? So I think she actually got fed up with me in the end. But I actually jumped on board. I started doing it on myself and literally lost 3 inches within a couple of days. And I was like, do you know what? I'll wait. I'll see if it comes back. I'll see if it's a water loss treatment. I'll see if, the inches creep back, so to speak. And they didn't. I noticed a difference in my skin. It actually started to tighten. And from the experience I've got in the past doing detox wraps, and I used to do back in the day the old lipofirm wrap that was really, really good for inch loss. I actually knew the principles of why the skin tightens and stuff, along with cavitation. So I tried it throughout December before we actually locked down again, and I did it with clients on its own. I did it with clients that had cavitation with it, and I did it with clients that had had solely cavitation and then used the product after to enhance the results of cavitation. Amazing, all three aspects. So I actually developed during this lockdown and moving forward home kits. So the home kits are 5 days of product. You get a tape measure. You can actually do it for your chin and lower face and jaw area. You can actually do it on the tummy, the arms, the legs, and you use the product for 5 days. So you use it for consecutive 5 days and you apply the product yourself. And there is ways and a certain method that you follow to actually achieve the results you want. You can actually lose weight from it. However, I don't actually emphasize it as a weight loss treatment because there is some of you guys out there, I'm sorry to say, that would be having this wrap on and still stuffing your face with a pizza. We had this incident with one of my clients posting a nice cake that a neighbour had actually bought her, and she was scoffing into this cake, and she actually had screenshotted and sent me pictures of her wearing the wrap literally 2 minutes before. So I messaged her and was like, what's this? So that was a real good funny situation, and we had a real good laugh about it, why she got a telling off. But now her results are amazing. She really saw a difference even though she ate cake. Which I don't condone you to eat junk food while you're doing the treatment, however. So yes, it's amazing treatment, so you can actually do it at home. However, if you do it with like cavitation, it does double the results, which is even better. Each person that actually has or wants the lipo kit will actually have a consultation with me prior. This is to ensure that your fat is suitable. So this treatment for home use particularly is more suitable for softer fat. Obviously, the larger the person, the more rounds of treatment you may need. However, everybody's very different of how their fat cells are formed. As I said, there is a thermogenic cream that you apply. This actually helps to break down very hard fat, so fat that's almost stored in between the muscles. So for clients, if you have a bloated belly, a very hard belly, or even if you had things like lipomas, you know, your fatty lumps that you can get in your legs or in your tummy and stuff as well, the thermogenesis cream is very, very good for that. And again, there is a protocol and a method that we actually use in clinic to achieve that, and you might need again more than one treatment for that. However, the results from that again are amazing. And there is also other things in the range that are actually coming out. So there's a 4% hyaluronic face cream, which is the first in the UK, and there's a slimming tan as well. A few of my clients have experienced slimming tan and they absolutely love it. The colour, it doesn't fade, it doesn't go patchy, very, you know, all that kind of stuff, but that's for a different video. So in regards to the lipo serum, you can combine it with cavitation. You can use it as a home kit, and you have a consultation with me just to assess that your fat is suitable for this treatment. The last thing I actually wanted to do was, you know, pop it on Facebook or social media, or you know, make it readily available, and every time Dick and Harry jump on it and do it, and then they're kind of not following the aftercare or not doing it correctly, and then say, oh, do you know what, that didn't work for me, and they don't come back for treatment after or try it with cavitation. Just because I haven't done it correctly. So I am sorry to say I'm very picky with who is having the home kits at the moment, and as I said, I need pictures of the area first to assess that your fat is suitable for the treatment. But again, that is me managing your expectations. I would hate you to feel like you've lost your money, because I know the science behind it. So it's FDA approved. It's got measuring done on a MRI scan. So there's actually evidence on MRI scans that I've seen, and I've actually kind of almost parred against the fat dissolving injections, and this has been proven obviously a safer technique. Plus you're not injecting, and there's no downtime, there's no swelling or anything in that respect as well. And as I said, it's not a water loss treatment. You have to do it for 5 days consecutive, so it's no good doing it for 1 day and then leaving a few days. And the thing you can't do is, if you have this kit, you can't let it sit in your cupboard for 2 or 3 weeks in those pots. I make those pots up as fresh as possible, so literally usually they are done at the lastest minute before they have to be posted out or for you to collect, because at the end of the day it comes in this, and I usually decant this straight onto the skin. So if I'm putting it into pots for health and hygiene and for cross-contamination and for kind of following health and safety guidelines, it is advisable that you do start your treatment as soon as you can. So if you have it on the Wednesday, try and start it on the Thursday. If you can't and you want to get the weekend out the way first, then obviously try and start it on the Sunday, the Monday, that's fine. But just pop your kit into the fridge so it's nice and cold, and it's obviously a little bit more of a sterile environment than it's sitting on your shelf in your bathroom. So that is a little bit of information about the lipo serum kits. They do come in individual pots, so you have a pot for each day. So if it's for your chin, you'll have small 5ml pots. If it's for the tummy, you tend to have between 10 to 15ml of product per pot, and again that just depends on the size of the person. With your kits, with your tummy or your arms or whatever, you do get a measuring tape measure. I do advise you to take pictures and measure if you can, and obviously if you want to weigh yourself, you can. You haven't got to, but you can. And as I said, I will show you the techniques of how to wrap. So if you've got a pouch and you want to kind of reduce the mummy tummy hang, there's a certain technique and a way that you can actually do that. After lockdown, or if we're past lockdown, if this video you're watching it later on, you want to do like a bum lift or a boob lift, there is a certain technique that we now can use for a bum and boob lift with the serum. And I know that sounds mad because you're reducing fat cells. However, when you actually reduce the fat cells, the reason we ask you to use things like bandages or cling film, again, is not a water loss treatment. It's actually to help to mold the skin. So as your fat cells start to break down and liquefy and actually transition through your lymphatic system, you don't want that skin to be loose and crepey. So having a nice waist trainer or some warm tight leggings on, or even if you're sleeping in it and you've got like a good layer of cling film, it ensures that you're kind of knitting that skin back together, so you're almost forming like a mold thing, like technique. So there is ways and means of achieving. So one of my clients last week did the kit. She's a mama too, obviously she's on a budget, but she wanted to try it. There was a certain area of the tummy that I said we needed to do the thermogenesis gel on, so she's avoided that because I didn't want her to waste product. And she's done a 5-day kit, and she wrapped a certain way to actually lift, and then a certain way the next day that I showed her to flatten the other areas. And she's got a cracking contour, and she's done her own pictures and she sent them to me, so they will be posted on social media at some point. So that is absolutely amazing that we can actually hopefully target you guys that can't get to me in clinic, or if you want to do something in between. So you could do your cavitation. If you can't afford to come back to me for a few weeks, you can do this in the meantime at home, so you can ensure you're still getting some kind of result and you're getting a permanent result in regards of your fat loss. So any questions on the product, or any questions on pricing or kits, or if you want a consultation, they're totally free. Give me a message or simply comment under the video and I'll get back to you, or give me a call for you guys that have got my number. So any questions at all, just feel free to drop me a message, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.